I can never remember a time in my entire life when I have completely felt accepted by everyone, or anyone for that matter, especially myself. I grew up in a home without a father. I look back now, oh yeah, I definitely missed having a father figure in my life, and I believe that that was my life theme. I was going to find someone to fill that void, something to fill that void.
Ever since I was a kid or in middle school and high school, I was an athlete. I was very active. I was very involved in sports. Something inside me just said that, since I was, shorter than most of the guys, that I had to be bigger, or I had to be more muscular or more athletic. I always had that idea that I was competing. I was competing for people's approval or for society's approval.
I've struggled with self-image for many years, and I guess it started about middle school. I was just starting 8th grade, and I remember that I weighed about 120 pounds, and one of my friends, who was a boy, was joking and made the comment that I had big thighs. I wanted to really fit in at school. I wanted to be popular. I wanted to have a boyfriend. And I became really concerned that I didn't look the part, that I didn't fit in, that I was way too heavy at 120 pounds. So I thought I would take matters into my own hands.
I completely allowed people to define my worth and value, and it was typically based on my looks. When I was about 9 years old, I was riding my bike in the neighborhood, and this neighborhood boy, who of course at that time I thought he was just the cutest thing, called me a really ugly name. I know they affected me, even though I like to think that I'm very independent and that I'm very self-confident at times. Definitely not true.
I lost my hair when I was 18 in high school, and it was a big self-image problem for me. When we moved to Lakeland, I started taking some supplements from GNC. I became obsessed with working out, with taking supplements, and stacking a lot of different supplements from GNC that were not approved by the FDA and were not regulated. And it was dangerous.
I began to exercise. I began to watch what I eat. And I'm not exactly sure when things spiraled out of control. I kind of had a little competition going with my sister, who was also struggling with body image issues.
I spent the majority of my adolescent and high school years twirling. Do you think I'm beautiful? Am I worthy? Am I enough? I have been from a size 2 up to a size 11, and I've never been satisfied. There's not been once when I've looked at the scale and I've been satisfied.
One day, back in August, something told me just to quit, and I don't know what, and I don't know why, but I just stopped cold turkey taking all these supplements, and that sent me into a state of a manic depressive episode and an anxiety attack. Basically, my brain and my body shut down.
It got to the point where I was exercising 2 to 2.5 hours a day after school. I would allow myself 500 to 800 calories a day, Monday through Friday. On weekends, I would splurge and go up to 1,000. Then I'd feel guilty afterwards.
I took several different avenues to try to accomplish being that, being something to someone. I had boyfriends at a very early age, experimenting with drugs, and started hanging out with the partying crowd, anything to be accepted.
I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. My sleep patterns were disrupted. I would get sick in the morning. I would shake violently. I didn't really know what was happening, so I kind of pushed everyone away and blocked it all up, and I thought that I could deal with it myself. And this was just from over-the-counter supplements that you buy. Anyone can buy at GNC. They'll sell it to anyone. But this stuff almost killed me.
I went from 120 pounds down to about 103, lost about 3 or 4 pant sizes. I can look back at pictures of myself then, and I just looked like a Holocaust victim. I looked ghastly. But back then, I would look in my mom's mirror in her bedroom and think, oh, you're not good enough yet. You're just still too fat. There's something wrong with your hair. Makeup's not right. And I so desperately wanted to fit in. I wanted to belong. I wanted to feel valued. I wanted to feel accepted. And all that hinged on what everybody else thought of me at that age.
'Cause I need love, love's divine. Please forgive me now, I see that I've been blind. Give me love, love is what I need to help me know my name.
You know, my family, my friends, and the doctors, they helped. They got me the treatment that I needed. They said that they were shocked that I did not have, or that my heart did not stop from all the supplements that I was taking.
It was over a year before my mom finally took me to a doctor who sat me down seriously and said, you need to gain weight again.
I have spent my life trying to fill a void, and that void was meant for a father. It wasn't until I accepted God as my father that I was able to begin to heal, to begin to feel accepted, to begin to fill that hole that only God can fill.
I believe that God allowed me to experience that, to wake me up at how fragile and how fragile our mind and our bodies are. We are not meant to change what we look like through supplements, through drinks, through whatever the market is selling. I found that out the hard way, but through God's graces, I have another chance.
Although I didn't see it for what it was, I mean, I still looked in the mirror, I still saw a fat young lady. I realized that I needed to stop this path that was destroying my body and make some changes in my life. So I did gain 5 to 7 pounds back. Started to feel a little bit healthier, started to cut back on the exercising.
The only way that I got through what I did is from God, my faith, my family, my friends. That is it. They are the reason that I am still here. God carried me that way. He carried me to show me how precious we are, how fragile we are, how perfect we are, and how we're made.
It's not something I've completely conquered, even at the ripe old age of 29. But I have realized that there's always going to be somebody who is taller than me, have longer legs, and as long as I compare myself, I'm never going to add up. I need to accept me for who I am and be happy with that and love that.
I want to read a scripture that's been paraphrased by Stacey Eldridge, the author of Captivated. And it's meant a lot to me, and hopefully it'll mean something to others as well. It's from Isaiah 61, 1 through 3. God has sent me on a mission. I have some great news for you. God has sent me to restore and release something, and that something is you. I'm here to give you back your heart and set you free. I'm furious at the enemy who did this to you, and I will fight against him. Let me comfort you. For dear one, I will bestow beauty upon you, not beauty as the world defines it, where you have only known devastation. I will give you joy in the places of your deep sorrow. It means I am loved. It means I don't have to resign myself to never measuring up. I am loved. I am accepted, and it's through Christ that I have that acceptance.
I need